Ranking member yields back. Do any other members seek recognition? Very good. Representative Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The one thing we know is that anti-Semitism in Europe is not new. It dates back many, many centuries, and as my colleague on the other side said, it doesn't end with the Jews, it starts with the Jews all too often. My grandmother was born in Kyiv in the early 1900s. Her family, her parents and her 4 siblings at the time left because of the pogroms attacking the Jewish community. In 2015, I went to Paris shortly after the bombing of the Hypercacher supermarket in Charlie Hebdo, or the attack on the Hypercacher market in Charlie Hebdo, and spoke with the Jewish community in Europe, in Paris, and their concerns, and we've seen that only rise. In fact, anti-Semitism in Europe is rising once again to levels that endanger Jewish communities all across the continent, destabilizing our closest allies and threatening transatlantic institutions. Section 2 of this bill directs the Assistant Secretary for European and Eurasian Affairs to assess that the threat and engage diplomatically with governments where the danger is most acute. That is a basic oversight function, something Congress should always be doing. But the context matters here. This legislation would not be necessary if the Trump administration had not spent the past year gutting and destroying the civilian institutions that detect, track, and counter violent extremism. Freezing assistance, hollowing out USAID, dismantling the State Department's capacity to analyze trends in anti-Semitism. These are choices, and these choices create blind spots that the extremists are using to exploit. When the administration undermines independent institutions at home while ignoring anti-Semitism abroad, Congress has an obligation to step in. This bill does something narrow but important. It restores a channel of structured consultation between the State Department and Congress, ensuring we receive honest reporting on the threats that Europe is struggling to contain. It also signals that protecting Jewish communities is not an optional diplomatic task. It is core to transatlantic security, and the executive branch must be held accountable for delivering on that responsibility. I support the bill, and I appreciate the effort to keep it tightly focused on oversight rather than political theater. The fight against anti-Semitism requires competent institutions, sustained diplomacy, and seriousness of purpose. This legislation helps move us back into that direction. I yield back.
Representative yields back. Do any other members seek recognition? There being no further discussion of the bill, the committee will move to consideration of amendments. Does any member